In a country full of powerful managers, we question ethical decisions each one makes because they're basically in the public eye and easy to blame when the company does something wrong. We question any decision made that affects the company's profitability, its employee, and its customers. But most of all, we raise questions if compensation practices are fair, what role the CEO has in relation to the company and the board of directors, and we judge how they dictate corporate culture. To see if compensation practices are fair, we will take a look at the CEO of Pacific Gas and Electric Company, PG&E. It is an electric power transmission industry which is in competition with four other leading utility companies in the West Coast. According to Indeed.com, the average salary for a transmission line engineer is estimated about $90,000 to about $123,000 a year, uh, with an average bonus of $10,000 and a few benefits like 401k, definition contribution pension plan, and accidental death and dismemberment insurance. According to PG&E's annual proxy statement for its 2019 fiscal year, the CEO Geisha Williams made $1 million in total cash, $8 million in equity, and $170,000 in other, or shall we say, bonus, making a total compensation of $9.2 million. Yes, CEOs make a lot of money because they are the people that will take the fall for the company's faults, and they have to ensure the profitability increase of the company. In recent news, investigators have found an overwhelming evidence that PG&E's transmission line failure was the cause of the 2018 Paradise, California fire. Michael Danko, an Oakland attorney that is presenting a group of victims from the fire, stated that PG&E does not want to shut off the power for any reason because management bonuses are tied not to safety, but rather the lack of customer complaints. When the power is shut off to customers, they complain, so management is therefore hesitant to flip off the power. This organizational culture that the managers of PG&E were introducing was to ignore safety protocols placed by the company to prevent fires and instead let the employees get their bonuses. Employees have to get bonuses. The leaders in this case, the CEO, is given a lot of power by the stakeholders and tend to dictate the work quality he or she expects to have with each employee. As we analyze PG&E's CEO on corporate culture, we will find that PG&E is run by stakeholders, then below them is the board of directors, and after that is the executives. With more responsibility lies more risk. However, there must be a quality over quantity work ethic put into this place, starting with the stakeholders down to each employee. In this scenario with PG&E, what they must do to improve the company is to figure out how the company wants its employees to behave, starting with the executives and expanding the idea to new hires. PG&E must learn how to change and become a more responsible company. This is not easy for a company who has a long history of having a culture of negligence and unsafe practices. On April 11th, PG&E announced that they had created a new board of directors and will further improve their safety culture and hire a new CEO to start May 1st. As of January 13, the CEO, Geisha Williams, was asked to step down and was replaced by a new CEO, Andrew Vesey, effective August 19 of this year. Without the stakeholders' decision to fire the previous CEO, the company would probably still be facing safety ethical issues. PG&E's corporate mission statement states, satisfy energy demand, respect the environment. These are the principles that drive Pacific Gas and Electric Company. So in this case, it was a good idea to have the power from the stakeholders to ensure that their CEO is being held accountable for unethical safety practice or other unethical issues. It was the CEO's job to make sure a safety culture was in place so that it may come naturally to all employees. The most important issue facing CEOs would be placing the responsibility to those responsible for unethical practices, even if you are the CEO in charge. Yes, CEOs do get fired easily when they cannot satisfy the company's profitability, its employees, and most importantly, its customers. But that is why they get paid so much. Because it is hard to find a perfect CEO that could keep a large corporation running smoothly with little to no complications. People are not perfect, but by using various forms of cultural control, the company can execute a cultural strategy with the organization. This combination can make the company's culture stronger and create a sense of responsibility for all employees inside the company. Then the company would focus on hiring the right people, having the right management, and the right leaders for the organization to become profitable in the long run.